Where you are now is a result of your past thoughts, past behaviors, past beliefs. Whatever possessions you have, wherever you live, what car you drive, how much money you have in the bank account, how much money you don't have in the bank account, all those things are a result of past behaviors and past thoughts. And so, if right now you're thinking something different, or you're thinking more positively, or you're anchoring yourself in a future that's more vibrant than where you are now, then it is by law that your physical reality will reflect that. Um, but a lot of people get disheartened or confused by the fact that, hey, I'm thinking all these positive things, and yet, my balance is still negative 2,000 in my bank account. But they don't understand that that was the result of the past. It's not the result of where you are now or what you're anchoring into. So allow it some time and consistency to take effect, because where you are now took a lot of time and consistency in terms of thought patterns and behaviors to get to where you are now. In order to change that, it's going to take some consistency as well. So as long as you keep anchoring yourself into that bright, beautiful future, and you feel it and you magnetize it closer and closer to you, the material world will start changing. Um, so, and then one other thing is that, like, while you're in the circumstances of your past, and now you're saying that you're a different person, then your reaction, your response to the old environment must be, or must derive, a different thought pattern or different result. So for example, if you look into your bank account and then immediately feel less and bad about yourself, your financial situation, and feel that, and then be like, oh, I gotta get do the thing to do the thing, and then it was gonna get me the money. But you're slipping back into the old pattern because that's where you are now. That's how you got there in the first place. So now the response has got to be very different. You look at it and it doesn't activate the same fight or flight. You see it and you know that this is going to change no matter what. So your inner reactions to the external environment that you've been experiencing, that needs to change. The environment necessarily doesn't have to change right away, but first your response to what already exists needs to change. Whether it is someone at home, your wife or your partner or spouse, and they do something that annoys you, but the annoyance is within you. And if you change, or if you're at least conscious of that, oh, like I'm getting a response, and now I need to, now I'm someone different, and this response needs to be different or measured, and don't expect results for that right away, because it takes gonna take some will to change your automatic responses to your external stimuli. And it's going to take some time to be aware of those automatic responses to external stimuli. And it doesn't have to be those big things. It's like the small things. Whether something stressful is going on at work, are you now all of a sudden panicked, or do you know for certainty that your future is now very different, and no matter what is happening over here and over here, at work, at home, in relationships, in your bank account, that your future is certain because you have the vision for it, and you know it's gonna be great. And once you have that anchor into the future, and no matter what the external stimuli is, you keep your internal uh, being in check, because those responses were first learned from the mind, and then they're integrated into the body. Like when you brush your teeth, you're not even really thinking about it, right? And so those responses are now ingrained in the body. So now you have to also, one, let the body know through the mind that we don't no longer respond that way, and teach the body new responses to those familiar stimuli. And and the body would always go into like, oh, the survival, the fight or flight, and you got to be brave enough to stand in that and be like, no, I'm choosing something different, body, and now let's learn something different. So if that makes sense to you, and if you're in that specific scenario right now, then I hope this helps. I was listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza yesterday, and a lot of what he was saying resonated with me, and I thought it might be useful to share here. And if anybody else is going through that similar situation and now is becoming aware of their automatic responses to certain things, that's step one. And step two is changing it internally, right? How are you feeling internally? Because the emotion is a, Dr. George Spencer says, emotion is the memory of the past behavior or past experience. And so whatever that is, it's from the past. Something new has to come from the mind. You have to envision it to the future, and the new feeling of that future has to be engraved into the body, so much so that it becomes familiar, and now you naturally look for it as you naturally look for what it is now, at the environment you're in. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. See you guys in the next one.